I'm Jim Longworth, and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Coming up later on, our infamous roundtable gets together. You never want to miss what they have to say, or maybe you do, but you ought to stay tuned anyway. And between now and then, some great guests and important information coming your way. Lots of things to cover, including the discussion about some great workforce training that's going out in Alamance Community College. It's helping people get some great jobs. We'll tell you all about that and many, many more things on this show, so stay tuned. But first, we start out talking about summer camps and Girl Scouts and fun activities and all sorts of stuff. And on my right is the lady that's going to help us through this. She's a returning visitor, and we're always glad when she can stop by. Charlotte Elliott is Director of Outdoor Experience for Girl Scouts, Carolina's Peaks to Piedmont. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me back.
And we'll remind everybody that you were born on the other side of the pond, so when they're trying to adjust their set, why is she talking, Fanny? All right, so now tell us about the various camps that you guys offer, because it's not just one camp. People say, I'm going to summer camp.
Right. We have both different locations and different types of camps. So we have day camp and resident camp. So if a child just wants to go from 9 to 4, that's an option. Or we have the sleepaway option as well, if they're ready to have that bit more distance from the parents. But we also have 3 different locations across the western part of the state. So from Brevard to Lenoir, and then one in the Triad here.
Do people tend to go to what's nearer to them, or because certain ones have certain environments they like to be in? Or?
I think it's more the latter, especially the camp up in the mountains. Everyone's, it's going to be a lot cooler, and it's not as cooler as they think. So,
yeah, that's
and also
right.
Wherever their buddies going, wherever their friends are going is a big pull as well.
That's right. Now, are activities age specific? Because if let's say I have a daughter, and let's say I have 2 daughters, but their ages are ranging from very varied,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make sure that my youngest daughter isn't doing something dangerous or whatever. I mean, you tailor these things, right?
We do. We have a lot of activities that are age dependent: archery, rock climbing, different types of boating. Like the daisies can get out on the lake in a boat, but the stand-up paddle boarding, they're not quite ready for. So.
I got you. Now, you mentioned before about overnight stay camp versus day camp. Other than the obvious thing that you're there longer, is there a big difference? Like there's more activities because you're overnight, or what?
Yeah, there's more activities because you're overnight, more all camp activities. You get to cook out over a campfire. And the things the girls get out of the camp is also very different. They come back with a wider set of life skills, honestly, more independence. They've been looking after themselves, their personal hygiene, living with other people, that aspect as well.
And it's a great experience having the girl experience. And I know I've talked with you and some other folks about it, and not to disparage the other organization that's trying to steal girls into becoming in the Boy Scouts. But I mean, you guys have a unique situation of really teaching those life skills.
We do. We've been operating for over 100 years, and we've been pushing girls' leadership opportunities.
Let's tell about the big open house. What is it? When is it? What's it all about?
It's coming up this Sunday, 11 till 4, and we are going ahead and basically opening our camp doors. You can come around, have a tour, meet the staff, see the facilities, and then for small charges, there's actually all the activities open as well, and those monies will then go towards the campus scholarship fund. So
now, would this be at all the 3 different camps, or just one?
Most certainly, all 3 at the same time.
All 3. Now, I guess in the time we have remaining, I'm wondering, how do you think that, are there any misconceptions or misperceptions about Girl Scouts that you want to clear up very quickly for anybody?
The girls don't want to be outdoors, because they do.
They do.
Even the girls that are attached to their phones now. I've had a parent tell me that it's taken their child 8 weeks to get back into their use of their phone from coming back from camp, because they've been to camp for 4 weeks, because they're excited to speak to people face to face, because
yeah, and they sort of get stereotyped. Well, they're young girls, they just want to text, and but they love the outdoor stuff.
They love building the fires. There's normally a fight to see who can build the fire.
That's right. Up on screen, a couple of things I want you to look at. www.girlscoutsp2p, standing for Carolina's Peaks to Piedmont, p2p.org. I'll say it again for the radio audience, girlscoutsp2p.org. And you might want to also look at camplikeagirl.org, which are both good websites to check out for this. Charlotte Elliott, you have a lot to do, and I'm always glad we can get you in before the busy season starts. And thanks for everything you do for the girls.
No, thank you for having us.
All right. Be right back. I Triad Today, and always glad when we can sit down and talk with some of the folks from Cross North that do so much for caring for our children in our society. And we have 2 great folks with us who are going to talk about special kind of care and therapy. And next to me, let's meet them right now. Johanna Steffen is Clinical Director at Cross North School and Children's Home. Next to him is Meredith Martin. She's Director of Program Excellence there, and welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Meredith, let me start with you and remind the folks at home, in case they missed some of our other segments, what the mission of Crossnor is.
Yeah, so at Crossnor we work with kids in a lot of different ways, but ultimately we're committed to helping them have healthy futures, and hope and healing is really what we're all about at Crossnor.
Johannes, what kind of clinical services does Crossnor offer?
So we have 3 locations that we provide services to. We have one campus in Winston, one in Crossnor, and one in Hendersonville. And in our campus, we have services in our day treatment program, which is a program that serves our K through 12 alternative school. We have a residential program where children live on campus, where our therapists provide services to. We have a foster care and adoption program and youth in transition program where we provide services to.
Absolutely, and I'm thinking when you talk about school-based, if the kids need some therapy or something, why is that better to have it there in that environment than do an outpatient? I mean, is there an advantage?
Yeah, so we actually serve 10 schools outside of our campus. And one of the advantages is that the access to care. So parents who might have long hours at work or unable to transport children to our campus are able to receive services in the school, and we can collaborate with the teachers and social workers.
I'm sorry. Meredith, I want to learn something about this. Holly emailed me something that I didn't quite understand, and she said it's called trauma-informed approach to clinical services. Now, what does that mean, and why is it important?
Well, it's a great question. So trauma-informed care is really becoming a part of a national dialogue. Actually, Oprah Winfrey recently did a 60 Minutes expose about trauma-informed care. And really the kind of crux of trauma-informed care is changing the question from not what's wrong with you to what's happened to you. So if I asked you what's wrong with you, what would that make you feel like?
That there's already something wrong with me that maybe can't be fixed, and I don't feel good about it.
Absolutely. And so changing the question to what has happened to you kind of helps us as clinicians say, you know, if a child's been neglected or if a child has experienced abuse or even if their parents have been divorced, that's something that has happened to them, something that maybe has happened to any of us in our childhood that impacts us. And when we can approach that person with clinical services that are trauma-informed, we're able to really help them not take on the ownership of the impacts of trauma and help them be resilient.
Johannes, how can viewers who are interested to find out more about this, how can they access the kind of care that you guys are offering?
The best is really to go to our website, crossnor.org, and then you can just select the services and get the phone numbers for our different location and services that they might look for.
Well, we didn't rehearse this, but if it's okay with the two of you, we have just a little time left, and when I have a first-time visitor, I always like to ask them this, and I'll start with you, Meredith. Why did you want to get into this career and helping kids?
So, yeah, I mean, what I love about working at Crossnor is it gives us an opportunity to meet people where they are and really help them go to the next step. So we meet kids at Crossnor who are coming in really challenging situations out of foster care, or they're coming to clinical services because their family has a lot of conflict or other things that they don't really want to talk to people about. But we, through our work and through kind of what drew me to the career, is just we're able to provide that hope and healing for them. We're able to walk alongside them.
Johannes, tell me in about 15 seconds, same thing. Why do you like doing this?
Just to serve people, give them hope and just a few tools that can impact and change their whole life.
The two of you are really making a difference, and I don't want to I'm not saying this lightly, but I appreciate what you're doing for the kids and for the community. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having us.
All right, thanks, pal. All right, we'll be right back after this. Today, I'd always like to talk about workforce development. Somebody says, what's that? We're going to find out what it is, but I can just tell you the short story, a little preview. It means people get jobs because they have great training, and where are they getting it? Alamance Community College. We have someone here from the college, and we're going to talk about workforce development. On my right, Karen Tickinen. I did pronounce that okay, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Finnish name, all right. And she's Director of Occupational Education and Workforce Development at Alamance Community College. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Let's clear it up. Just take a few, 10 seconds or so. Just tell me what workforce development means so we'll make sure we're all on the same page.
Workforce development is different and more unique from what most people think of in curriculum. We're short-term, not for credit, non-degree, but offer the skills so that you can get in the workforce and get in the workforce very quickly. For instance, everybody's got to get their bills paid, so maybe I can't take 2 years or 4 years to get a degree. We can get in and get somebody going very quickly.
Yeah, you might have an entry-level job that you're doing to try to make ends meet, but you want to learn at the same time, and you want to advance your career, and you get with you guys, and I just think it's great. We'll get more into the convenience of that in a second. But now, what kind of courses and programs might fall within workforce development?
For instance, some of our programs can be as short as 3 hours and up to 9 months, and you could get something like phlebotomy, an EKG tech, manicure, nail tech, or something to start. A lot of those are also stackable, so if someone went in, got a job in that, they could come back later and do it in a more advanced degree. We also have some of the trades. We have carpentry, we have plumbing, we have wiring.
So everything from hands-on to high-tech is down in there.
Yep.
And we'll give the website in a minute so that people can look at the varying topics there. Ed Williams from over at Alamance emailed me one day and said you have something called Just-in-Time. That's the name of it, Just-in-Time Training. What does that mean?
It means that we can, between 3 hours and 9 months, we can get you into the skills you need to be employed.
So that you're not bookended into any one thing. It's sort of, you can tailor your own education then.
Yeah, you decide the field that you want to go in, and we offer a lot of the credentialing in that. You want to become a real estate agent, we can get you into the real estate. You want to get into the insurance industry, we can do that. Auto dealer, we have programs in teaching people to become auto dealers.
The folks that want to get in on a fast track program, is it difficult to get into that? Can you describe the process?
One of the nice things with workforce development is we don't have a lengthy process. You fill out a very short registration, give us the money for the course, and you're in. We don't do transcript checks. We don't do a lot of pre-testing. A few of the programs may have some pre-testing requirements, but pretty much you sign up, you come in, you're on the road, ready to go.
You don't have to give me any specifics or names of companies, and I'm going to put you on the spot because we didn't rehearse this, but I guess people's question, if they're watching, always they're thinking to themselves, well, wait a minute, are there jobs available in the Alamance area if I go over, and take training?
Yeah, there are, and we partner with a lot of the companies in the area to find out what they need, the types of skills that they're looking for. And in some cases, some of them may put that a certain course that we have is preferred for people that are coming in. One in particular, we have a DSS caseworker, and we actually work very closely with Alamance Department of Social Services to train, but that DSS caseworker trains with the same skills that are used anywhere in the States.
So they're coming right out of Alamance Community College, they're going right back into the job, and they know exactly what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't get better than that. Is this a good time to enroll, bad time to enroll, or can you enroll? How does that work?
Continue our workforce development. We have classes starting all the time, because not only do we have those quick ones, but we have continuing education. For someone that already has a license or a certificate in something, they can come back and get their routine continuing education. But you can apply any time in continuing ed, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my curriculum friends as well.
Yeah.
That we are enrolling for the fall right now, and we have over 40 programs.
For all the standard programs.
Yes.
Yeah. Up on screen, alamancecc.edu. I'll say it again for the radio audience. AlamancecC, standing for Community College.edu. That's what you really need to check out to see about all the different courses, things that are being offered, and things that Karen was talking about. It's like a cornucopia of stuff you can choose from. So a lot of career paths to look at there. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Right today, and always glad when this gentleman can stop by and give us some tips on dental health. And so let's introduce him to you right now. On my right, Dr. Nick Capehart. He's with Ardmore Dentistry. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Good to be here.
You sent me an email. We said let's go into some areas here that not too many people cover on shows like this. I'm going to start out with a stupid question, which is, what are dentures in terms of, are they real teeth? Are they fabricated teeth? What are they? We don't spend a lot of time on this, but what are they comprised of? What are they?
There's no stupid questions.
Okay.
That one's borderline.
Go ahead.
So dentures are a way to replace teeth, and they're a specific type of prosthesis, and that's what it is. Like a prosthesis, you get to replace part of your leg, an arm. It's a prosthesis that simulates a part of the body. And dentures are plastic, and they go in your mouth and they replace missing teeth.
What are the multiple purposes? I guess there's obviously purpose cosmetic, but what are the purposes of having dentures?
So your teeth do a lot. And I call it teeth the structures in your mouth. And that's got to do with your gum, your teeth, some of the soft tissue there. You do a lot with that. A lot of things you don't think about. Obviously, aesthetics, you want to make sure you get a pretty smile. But part of it is speech. Sounds like the TH sound, the F sound. You need teeth.
Yeah, you don't think about that. Somebody can say, hey, Jim, I just lost one tooth, no big deal, and then they'll come back and they'll say, wait a minute, I'm not talking right. And so then they get back and maybe look at what we would call a partial or something like that.
A partial, so a denture is a full set of teeth, and a partial essentially is less than a full set, so partial set of teeth.
Okay.
You call them partial denture, we just call them partial for short.
Right. Now, you once told me that dentures, let's talk about facial tissue, speech, stuff like that. Educate me a little bit on why they're so important to have if you're in that situation.
So, part of when you're a child learning to speak, you're learning how to use things that you've never used before. Well, when things change, people have a set of teeth and they lose them, those structures that they're used to, placing their tongue behind their teeth and saying like a TH sound,
right.
placing their teeth and stopping the airflow for an F sound, like when you don't have that there, all of a sudden speech patterns are totally different.
So it's a relearning process though when you go through that.
And so, okay, so if you we couldn't save the teeth, you have to lose them, and we replace them somehow, all of a sudden I put something in your mouth that's not natural anymore.
Right.
It's foreign, and you learn to use it just like you learn to speak, and thankfully you already know how to talk, and so you can pick up fairly quickly, but now there's a piece of plastic in there where there wasn't.
Let me ask you something that occurred to me. I was driving over here, so I'm going to ask this to Nick. If you have a full set of dentures, is it a myth when people say, hey, look, I'm home free, I have a full set of dentures, I'm never going to have any more dental problems?
You get that a lot, and that's the exact opposite. In reality, you trade one set of problems for another. And just because you don't have teeth doesn't mean you don't have teeth problems, okay? Teeth problems are now denture problems. So you've got the dentures have to fit and stay in place in your mouth, and things change over time. So then you've got to keep up with the change.
Right.
These things are plastic. They wear out. They've also got the things we've talked about before, and that is you can still get stuff going on in your mouth that you need checked out. So you've still got to see a dentist.
And keep up with the cleaning and all that. Before
Right.
time runs out, let me ask you about implants. Is that the latest thing, and do you suggest to people they do that rather than dentures, or what?
Well, that's we could go anywhere with that. But in reality, the dentures, the conventional style denture is just like we talked about, a piece of plastic that used to suction to stay in place. And now we've got these great things, implants, where we can anchor these things to your jaw. And that way, when you're moving, you're opening your mouth, you're chewing, you're doing all this stuff, you don't have to worry about your teeth falling out, you don't have to worry about them sliding around. Now all of a sudden they're anchored, and you can use them more like your teeth.
More expensive.
Generally, like you're buying a car, you want AM, FM radio, power door locks,
Right.
windows.
Right.
You're going to spend some more money.
All right, good stuff. I always like to find out more about these topics and dental health tips. Up on screen, www.wsdentist.com. I hope you folks will check that out because Dr. Nick Capar always has some great information, and I appreciate you stopping by and doing that.
Yes, sir.
You
Good to be
take
here.
care. All right. We'll be right back after this. Back now on Triad Today. It's about time for the roundtable. I was just looking at the Yes Weekly. The title is Black Ginger. Keith, what does that mean?
I think they're talking about me,
I don't know. No,
I think, I'm sweet, they talk, that's what they're talking about, black ginger.
It's something made with ginger.
She used to dance with Fred Astaire.
They're talking about me, black ginger.
That's
Keith
right.
Black Ginger Granberry.
Yeah,
That's
we've
what
heard,
it is.
yeah.
That's what
There's
it
something
is.
wrong with you. All right, so anyway, I have an article in there. I hope you'll read this, and you can even read the thing about Keith. All right, now to the roundtable. First, next to me, Dr. Don Martin is Vice Chair of the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners and also a High Point University professor and many other things. And next to him, of course, Sheriff B.J. Barnes, who rules the roost in Guilford County. Next to him, Keith Granberry, who has just been pardoned. Who is founder of Helping Hands Consultants. All right, now guys, to the first topic. Forsyth County Senator Paul Lowe, you know Paul Lowe.
I know Paul.
Has introduced a bill that would legalize small amounts of marijuana for personal use. Don, I think it's about 4 ounces. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, good idea or bad idea to do that, and will it pass? Don?
I think it's a bad idea and it will not pass.
No and no. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying no and no.
BJ,
No and no. It will not pass, and it is a bad idea.
you think so?
Yes.
Keith?
I think it's a good idea because people are doing it anyway, and the economy could use this type of thing. I mean, tobacco. What about tobacco? Is that a good idea or bad idea for people to smoke?
Bad idea. But will it pass?
No, it will not pass here in North Carolina.
All right, so we have a split decision here. Okay, late last week, a site plan for a 1 million square foot warehouse was submitted to the town of Kernersville. It's believed to be a site plan for an Amazon warehouse, which, if true, can employ over 900 people. That would be great. But here's the question, guys. Would 900 new jobs by Amazon outweigh the adverse impact that Amazon is having on small businesses in our area? Don Martin.
Well, Amazon is having an impact online regardless of where their distribution center is. So I don't think it's going to affect their distribution. And the 900 jobs are 900 jobs.
BJ.
900 jobs would be great. And I read an article today that said that the cost of housing will go up, which is going to be good for us homeowners. And also, but the bad part about it is also the cost of rent will go up.
All right, so nobody has any ethical problem then with it. The mom and pop businesses that struggle. Keith, what's your opinion?
Well, I mean, it's sort of like the Walmarts of the world. I mean, it is going to help that economy, but overall, it is. Amazon is taking over everything. We all know that, and
So,
and I think there's a problem.
Smaller businesses are going to
Absolutely.
suffer, but like Don and BJ said, it's good to have those jobs. Late last week, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill rescinded Bill Cosby's honorary degree because of his conviction in a sexual assault case. Now, we've touched on these types of things before, but now this is just in the news because of Carolina. You guys okay with taking back the honorary degree, or once something like that's awarded, should it remain in effect no matter what somebody does? Don Martin.
Well, I think if it's an earned record, we're talking about sports records and some of those kind of things, I can see more about keeping it, but an honorary degree is based on a whole package, and if that package had included his crimes, he wouldn't have gotten it in the first place, so I probably can go along with taking it away.
Interesting point. BJ.
I go along with taking it away without any problem. It's in the book, he got it. It's in the book to taking it away. It's also in the book what he did. Yep.
But if it had been an earned degree at Carolina, you don't mess with that, or if
If
he
it's
had a
earned
sports
degree,
record, or
No, if it's an earned degree, I don't think she'd be taking it away.
a sports record. Keith, what do you think?
First of all, I think both of these gentlemen are taking away the impact that Bill Cosby had on society in general. He's had a huge impact on society, black and white.
Right.
So you can't take that away. So giving him an honorary degree is something that he's earned for the impact that he's had. Now, these other things that we're dealing with, these crimes that they say he committed, and he's been convicted, indicted of, I don't know, and
Right.
convicted.
Right.
That's something separate, but you can't take away the
So he got
impact that
he
he's
got
had
the honorary.
on
Yeah, he got
America.
the honorary degree because of the great stuff he had done.
Absolutely, he earned it.
Okay, good point. According to current North Carolina law, if you fail to pay your traffic fines, your driver's license can be suspended. The ACLU is challenging that law in court. Will they get it repealed, or are you okay with the law as is? Quickly, Don.
Well, I rarely agree with the ACLU, but I probably do this time because basically the punishment shouldn't have to do with driving, it has to do with your violating parking.
Yeah, and you have to get to your job too. BJ,
I have no problem with the law as it is.
you like it as Keith?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think you should be getting people stopped for traffic fines. People are stopped and then they don't pay them and they don't realize it happened, and then one of BJ's sheriffs will come and put him in jail. We don't need that now, do we?
Well, you already. Lori, I don't know. Maybe we ought to, just end it right here. But Keith's been pardoned anyway,
That's
so
right,
we don't
that's
know.
right.
All
BJ's
right.
Donald Trump.
That's right. The Miss America pageant, guys, just announced it will no longer have a swimsuit competition, maybe not even evening gowns, because they don't think someone should be, quote, judged on their outward appearance. Guys, are you okay with this decision?
I'm
Don,
okay.
You're okay with it? What's the matter with you?
I'm okay, man.
You've
you
been
don't-
smoking that marijuana.
That's
that
right. Yeah, he's
Paul loves.
smoking the. All right, BJ.
Less than 4 ounces. What are they going to judge him on? The last question they ask him, which is, how do you feel about world peace or some
Yeah.
deep such a
Golly, Keith, what do you
I'm
think?
gonna boycott this. I'm boycotting.
You're not gonna watch
Nobody should watch it. I mean, come on. This is
No
that's-
bathing suits.
This is part of America. It's part of culture.
Yeah.
I mean, you
would
judge
get
people.
you would get up there in a bathing suit, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, finally, at a recent auction, that's the naked truth from Keith Cranberry. Finally, at a recent auction, someone paid $40,000 for a lock of Justin Bieber's hair. Guys, if it was for a good cause, how much would you pay for celebrity hair, and how much you think a lock of your hair would go for? You can answer either or. Don.
How about none and none? None for celebrity hair, but I might give money to a good cause.
A good
And
cause.
my hair would be worth none.
You don't think it would, BJ?
None for celebrity hair, and my hair is so rare that it should be worth something, but it's not.
Every ounce. Yeah. Okay. Keith, what do you think?
How much would I pay?
Yeah.
0. But how much would someone pay for my head?
Yeah.
About $1 million for my head, not
Yeah.
for.
Wow. I think
maybe $1,000 for the hair.
I think
know,
BJ,
if I had some.
BJ was after your head today. I
That's
think
right.
That's
He
part of the
came.
problem.
He came for me today.
I
Did
know
you
it.
see that?
And we think that our good pal Ogie Overman, we think, keep our fingers crossed, he will be back next week. So we'll see.
Wow.
Oh, and that's all today. Oh, except for this. A train full of smelly human waste has been stranded on the tracks in Alabama for 2 months now. Asked to comment, one Alabama resident said, "It's pretty awful around here, and the poop train is bad too." I don't mean to disparage people. It's an Alabama thing.
Yeah.
Well,
right,
they took
okay.
our Toyota plant, so you can say
Okay, so-
so. All right, well, that's all for Triad
Roll
Today. We'll
Tide,
see you
roll.
next. Roll Tide. Roll something. We'll see you next week.